All right. So let's take a look at the forwards selected to represent the Super Falcons at the upcoming Women's World Cup. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you very much. So first forward on the list, we got Uchenna Kanu of Racing Louisville in the US of A. She recently moved to the club from Tigres in Mexico, and that was after a record fee paid by Racing Louisville. Over in Mexico, she had a real good time. They won the league title after winning the playoffs at the end of the season. But the only down part were the injuries for Uchenna Kanu. She struggled with injuries during the playoffs. She missed the final two matches of the playoffs. Then they played a friendly match against Bayern. They won that by a goal to nil. Uchenna Kanu scored the goal in the first half, but also she was injured in the first half. She had to be taken off. With the Super Falcons lately, it's almost kind of the same type of situation. Her last start for the team was against Japan in that friendly. Then her last goal was against the USA. What a beautiful goal it was. But when you look at the last 5 friendly matches the team has played, she was used sparingly in the 3 matches in Mexico. Then the last 2 matches, she didn't even play a single minute in either one of them. But that being said, she has been available for a club side in the past weeks, and the hope would be that she could stay healthy going into this competition, because she's definitely a player that can make something happen for the Super Falcons. Moving on to the next forward, we got Gift Monday of UDG Tenerife in Spain. That's the Spanish First Division. She joined the club basically during the Women's AFCON, the last Women's AFCON. She moved from FC Robo in the Nigerian Women's Football League. That was after winning the league with Bielsa Queens. She went on loan to Bielsa Queens, then went to the Women's AFCON and was sold by FC Robo. So that's the sequence of things. She moved to Spain. She had a pretty good season in my opinion. Not the amount of goals that even I predicted for her. I felt she would have scored more goals, but she was playing on the wings, mostly on the left side of the offense. Now with the Super Falcons, I feel like Gift Monday can bring some a little bit different from the other forwards on the team. If you look at the other forwards, you got Odega, you got Oshwala. They're players that like to cut in on their right, but Gift Monday is a player that can actually run the lines, hug that touch line, and that creates a lot of space for the team. And this is a player that is really needed on the team, because there's no other player that's going to do that. So I really didn't understand at the last AFCON what was really the problem. She had the debut, she had the good game, then after that it was like crickets. Then after the Women's AFCON, what's happening? Why is she not getting selected? She gets selected this time. You finally put her in the game against New Zealand, and you see what she did. She was part of the goal that was scored. So in my opinion, the coach got to make a little bit bigger room for Gift Monday in his plans. He might not have that much room for her at the moment, but he needs to, because she's a player that can really help the team. She brings something different, like I said, and hopefully she gets the opportunity she deserves at this World Cup. Moving on, and next we got Ifeoma Onumonu of Gotham FC in the USA. She joined the Super Falcons at the Summer Series in 2021. The Summer Series, of course, hosted in the US, and she's been part of the team ever since then. Of course, had that big moment, the 2 goals against Ivory Coast in the Women's AFCON qualification. Then the goal in the Women's AFCON, that was her only goal of the competition, but she did get the big time assist against Cameroon to get us in the World Cup. Now lately her form has kind of been missing in action. She has been struggling for both club and country, and you're talking about a player who is one of the best upcoming strikers in the league, and at the moment she's struggling to even get some game time. Now that being said, obviously you never want a player to be coming into bad form when a competition like this is happening, but this is totally normal. This is something that happens in football all the time. Players lose form. You look at the Super Eagles, Odion Igalo, Victor Osimhen, Taiwo Awoniyi, Kelechi Iheanacho. All these players have gone through moments that they struggle for both club and country. but all those players came out of it. So there's no reason why Ifeoma Onumonu can't come out of this situation right here. But even as I say that, you have to wonder if this is the right place for a player to come to try to catch her form. I mean, you look at Odion Igalo at the 2018 World Cup, almost the same situation. Moved to China, was just getting over his time in Watford, how it ended. Then you go to the World Cup, you make a mistake, and nobody's trying to hear anything. Nobody's trying to hear, oh, he was struggling at Watford, and oh, nobody's trying to blame the coach. Everybody's gonna be blaming that particular player. But the funny thing is, if you follow that story all the way, Odion Igalo missed that chance against Argentina and went to his club side and scored the same exact chance when he got back. As a matter of fact, I felt like the chance he scored was way harder than the one he missed, and he stayed on that same form all the way till we needed him in the next AFCON qualifiers. And you think about that, what if the coach just didn't select him for the World Cup, let him keep doing his thing at his club? He would have been selected anyways for the AFCON qualifiers, and he would have not have had to go through what he went through after the World Cup. Moving on, and next we got arguably the greatest African women's footballer of all time, Cicero Schwaller of Barcelona in the Spanish First Division. Coming off another big time season with FC Barcelona, won 3 titles during the season, the league title, the Spanish Super Cup, and also the Champions League, the UEFA Women's Champions League. Now, even though she scored a bunch of goals this season, picked up a bunch of trophies, she still has struggles with injuries, and it's kind of really amazing when you look at her numbers and the amount of matches she missed. She missed some months of football this season, the biggest of which was the Champions League final. She got injured like 2 or 3 weeks before the final, and there were a whole bunch of questions. Would she play? Would she not play? Even all the way to the last training before the final match, there were cameras on her trying to find out would she play, but at the end of the day, she did not play. All she could do was watch as the team came back from 2 goals down, and they won the final match by 3-2 against Wolfsburg. Now with the Super Falcons, she has had even worse luck with injuries. Only played 1 match of the women's AFCON, and since then her only matches has been the last 2, the match against Haiti and the match against New Zealand. She did score a goal against Haiti, but almost on cue she picked up an injury against New Zealand. Next up, we got Desire Parnose of Wuhan Chegu Jiahan in China. That's the Chinese First Division. She recently made a return to the Super Falcons, and that was after missing the women's AFCON because of travel issues. She played the last 2 matches against Haiti and New Zealand. Really nice performances in both matches. I feel like Desire Parnose is one of the few players in football that looking at their stats doesn't really help you to know what she's about. You look at her club stats and you're like, oh, this is just an average striker. But when you look at her play, she's a proper striker. Real difficult to deal with, and she's always gonna give trouble to the opposing defense. And if you dare let her get that ball on her right foot, you might be in a whole bunch of trouble because she can strike the ball just as good as anybody in women's football. Moving on, and next we got Francisco Adego of CSKA Moscow. CSKA Moscow in Russia, that's the Russian First Division. This is a player that has been a big part of the Super Falcons in the years past, but lately her position has kind of dwindled in the team. Now she does play from time to time, but it's not like it used to be before. Before she was an automatic starter. Now she might start a match and come off at halftime, or might just be on the bench for the whole of the match. But that being said, I still feel she has quality and she has a lot still to give to the Super Falcons. I feel the situation with Odega might be that she has put the standards so high, the bar so high, that she might not be able to reach it herself. because when you look at her past performances for the Super Falcons, it's not hard to figure out why people are feeling shortchanged by her recent performances. Next and last but not least of the forwards, we got Esther Caroncourt of AS Saint-Etienne in France, actually no longer of AS Saint-Etienne. She now plays for UDG Tenerife in Spain. She plays with Gift Monday. She made the move at the end of the season. I don't know why the NFF still got AS Saint-Etienne, and myself went along with it. But either way it goes, Esther Caroncourt now with UDG Tenerife in Spain. She linked up with the Super Falcons in 2021. That was at the Summer Series in the US. And at that point, if I'm not mistaken, she had just graduated from school, was just turning pro. She didn't do that much in that competition, to be honest. Although she did have the ball in the back of the net, but the goal was canceled at the end. Her big moment with the Super Falcons came in the women's AFCON qualifiers. That was against Ivory Coast. She picked up 1 assist in the first leg, which was in Abuja. Then in the second leg in Ivory Coast, she scored the match winner. Then after that, disaster struck. She got injured, I believe a knee injury, serious injury, and she missed the women's AFCON, missed a whole bunch of time. She made a return in those last 3 friendly matches in Mexico. She scored the goal against Costa Rica, the goal that ended the Super Falcons losing streak. Then scored against Haiti in one of our last 2 friendly matches. She also played the match against New Zealand, so she's definitely healthy and ready to go coming into this competition. So yeah, those are the forwards selected to represent the Super Falcons at the upcoming Women's World Cup. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank y'all for watching. Peace.